Oh, good evening and welcome to On Point Opinion, the show that discusses the hottest topics in the country and around the world today. I'm Bobby Kinzer,
And I'm Juan Holcomb,
and we are On Point
on Point Opinion.
Opinions. And just want to let you know that we're here every first Sunday of the month at 6 p.m. across the country and around the world. And it may be our opinions, but it's about the facts. So get that straight. We're just glad people are joining us all around the world. We appreciate that 100%. And just want to remind people we do have a disclaimer. And just to let you know, these are just Juan Holcomb's and Bobby Kin's opinions on the facts that are going around in the world today. So I hope we do not offend anybody and we're not trying to take any personal offense. So, Juan, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Bob. Once again, it's been a month filled with just endless things, and I'm ready to get at it, Bob.
It's just amazing, man, how so much can happen in a month's time. Juan, I mean, we try to keep up with it, man. And there's so many things going on in the country and around the world and in your town. And matter of
Absolutely.
fact, in your house. I mean, it's so much going on. It's so hard to keep up with it. One of the major issues nowadays, we're going to talk about it one show about AI, artificial intelligence, was getting ready to propel us into the Star Trek days. Getting ready to propel us into the outer limits. It's so amazing what's getting ready to happen. No, getting ready. That is happening with AI. That is almost unbelievable.
But that could take up a good segment of it. A lot is going on.
Yeah. So just remember, to click on the like button and the heart button as many times as you can, because that gives us traction and exposure to more people. That's how Facebook algorithms work. And also, please place comments in the comment box because we try to make this interactive. And the best way that we can make this interactive is if you put comments in the box. Tell us your opinions. Tell us how you feel about our opinions. And if you have some topics you like for us to discuss, put them in the comment box. And by the way, the more comments you put in the comment box, once again, the more people we are able to reach because that's how Facebook actually works. And all the people on YouTube, please, click on the share button and the button to actually link to our show if you're on YouTube. Okay, so that's the administrative stuff. Let's get to the facts, Juan. That's what's going on in this world today. You want to start off with we're going to talk in generally. We're just going to name several events that have happened in the past month, and we're not going to opinion on all of them. We're going to opinion on some of them, but we just want to let you know some of the things that happen. And if you have some that we don't, put them in the comment box.
Yeah, Bob, we were just talking about, you were reminding me of things as you mentioned. It's hard to keep up with stuff. And sometimes I feel like, okay, well, damn, really, there's so many topics. We could take the whole time just talking about things that have happened. And right up until when we air the show, there's always something going on, Bob. But yeah, this is our time to kind of just recap and just let us know what we did. And this came out of us missing a month because we were out of town. And so much had happened in the course of that 2 months. We said we might need to do this all the time. And that's how this segment
Wait a minute, Juan, did we do a show last month?
Yes.
Yes. We didn't miss a month last month.
Not last month. I'm just saying that's how.
I just want to let people know, in case they just know, we didn't miss last month.
No, we didn't last month. No, but yeah. So
let me help people out because some people be tuning into our archive shows and they think that's live. So now I'll put the date when we're live. This is live today, Sunday, July the 2nd.
Yes, I like that. I like that, Bob. Good deal.
So let me just start from the top. You had the billionaires who went into the submarine to go down and do a tour of the Titanic. That was an event that happened. That then their ship exploded. And I think it was 5 or 6 people in there, and they were billionaires. And I think it cost $250,000. Then you had the Canadian wildfires, which is still affecting us, man. Yesterday was it yesterday?
Oh,
It was
it's for the
so-
last month. It seemed like a few weeks.
yeah, but it seems like
really
it cleared up and then it comes back again.
comes back. Yeah, that shows you. We're gonna
Right.
have to do something on a lot on weather and climate change at some time too, Bob.
Yeah. Then
Just
you
like
had
AI.
you did. But then you had the Philadelphia Highway Bridge that collapsed, that shut down a major portion on 95 to Philly. And they said it was going to be over a year to get that back. And man, they already got a temporary bridge, and they looking to build the other bridge within the next 2 months. I'm like, modern technologies. When I'm talking about AI and technologies, I mean that they can do something like that.
I think that shocked everybody, didn't it, Bob?
Yeah, they said it was going to be a year. And you know
Yeah.
how much that would affect people going to work, especially in that Philadelphia corridor.
Right.
One was a tanker truck that caught on fire below it, and who'd have thought it? Then we had the Trump documents indictment that came down. 31 counts, something like that.
37 counts. And
No, I forgot how they do it. It's 7 something and 30 something counts. Yeah, I'm not no legal person, so forgive
it's
me.
a lot. How
Yeah.
about that? It's a lot.
Yeah. Now, let me get it. What actually
Document.
he was indicted on 31 accounts, and seven something. We were going to talk about it, but definitely it was 31 accounts. Good Lord.
Yeah.
And they also then, after that, by the end of the month, DOJ released all the witnesses and all the documents that they're going to be presenting in court. And they were trying to just not use all the names, but Trump's attorneys got them and blocked that, so they had to show all the names, and that's always scary because Trump always started using people's names and calling up people's mothers and grandmothers and stuff like that. Then we had the coup attempt from Russia, the Wagner mercenaries, the Wagner group, which was heading up to Moscow to probably do an insurrection. So Putin's got problems. Putin is got problems. Those people there, he's been keeping in the dark, not letting them be on the internet, not letting them be in social media, not letting them, giving them what they want in the news, and keeping those people ignorant. They coming up, they're not as ignorant and in the dark as Putin thinks. And those people are starting to uprise. So Putin's getting ready to have some problems. By the way, China is too, Juan. The young people are starting to rebel, and they got over 1 billion people with the I think it was imperialism that they have, and they're like, man, we ain't for that old stuff. So anyway, you had that. Then you had the Durham investigation from the Mueller report, and they were investigating the investigation. I mean, come on, what kind of crazy?
For the last 2 years.
Yes,
he was appointed by the Trump group.
Saying that they wasn't right what they did in investigating Trump on the Russia. And the first day when he won the election, he had a closed meeting with the Russia people. The first day he became president, and kicked out reporters and all American people. And they talk about, it's a witch hunt. But anyway, then we had DeSantis pass the bill restricting Asian people from buying.
It's actually Chinese. It's really to get at the Chinese, Bob.
Is that the Chinese? But I went back and read it. It said Asian people. So I mean, I'll go follow up on that. But that's why I say I changed from Chinese because Asian. I read the thing, it said Asian. But anyway, Chinese people
in Florida,
could not buy more than 2 acres. What the fracker are they talking about? Okay, then you got the GOP. What is that called?
weaponization.
Good old party. No, what is it?
The grand old party.
The grand old party, right? Talking about weaponization. Now, this is instant. Black folks been talking about weaponization for years, about how the how the police, how the FBI, how the court system. Now all of a sudden stuff going against them, and they talking about what Black people been talking about all along. And then they use these little fancy words, weaponization. Man, stop the daggone foolishness.
And they're investigated, and they're holding investigations into everything. Of course, the main one, Hunter Biden, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's the next one, Hunter Biden. Conviction. I mean, he got convicted, and they said any normal person, he got it was a tax. He didn't file his taxes. He went and filed his taxes, and then he paid. And then they got him on some gun charge. And that all of that stuff was no federal crimes, man. They made it like it's a big deal. They still haven't got. Then you had the Supreme Court Justice Alito have a private trip to Alaska on a private plane. There was $100,000 by one of the biggest billionaire GOP donors, Paul Singer, who everybody know about him. Did not disclose it. All he had to do is disclose that he went on this trip. But why did he not disclose it on a fishing trip? And then Singer had a trial.
Because it is not all he had to do. He knows that was
right. And Singer had
at least a conflict of interest.
And he was on a case where Singer was involved, and Singer won a $2 billion case.
$2 billion, yeah.
That's
not the only one.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then, how about this one? 12 of the daggone Freedom Caucus, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert and all these, they blocked bills on the floor in Congress. How can 12 people block a whole Congress of 435 people? 12 people block any bills that were able to come on the floor. Juan, we were living in a banana republic.
Well, one senator can block putting judges through or voting on elections.
Yeah.
They can stop the wheels going, man.
And then McCarthy has a spending cut bill. And we know when we start talking about spending cut, who they're going to be cutting, that will shut the government down. Now, we just averted a daggone debt ceiling crisis, a global crisis. Now you're talking about shutting the daggone government down. Mm-hmm. So that's just a few of the...
Well, these Supreme Court decisions will weigh heavily with that kind of stuff right now, too, that have come down just in the past week and past 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. I think I skipped that one.
Consequential, decision. So Supreme Court is all over the place.
Consequential Supreme Court decision. So I skipped that one.
No, the Supreme Court is all over the place. We'll be hitting on that. We'll be touching base on something.
Okay, well, so let's stop. We start at the top. Normally, one of the issues that we start off the top with is President Biden updates. What's going on with President Biden? Everybody knows that he has some very unfavorable poll statistics. And I still wonder who they polled, because nobody never polled. I've been never polled. And the average pollster, people don't know. The average number is 1,000. So, they need to stop at that. Right. But Juan, so what's going on?
Extrapolation.
Yeah, tell me more. What do you think? What's Joe doing? Joe just came out with a speech the other day about the economy. So what are you hearing about Joe? What's Joe been doing for you?
Well, I think, Bob, that that dichotomy is what is difficult to explain sometimes, is that Biden rolls along and just like he says, he's riding a hot economy and low unemployment, a record job creation. Bob, I saw a graphic the other day that showed that Biden in his term has created more jobs than any of his predecessors combined, many of them, during his time.
Let me give you specifics.
Okay.
He's created over 13 million jobs in 28 months, more than any president has done in their 4-year term.
Yes, right, 4-year term.
Last month, Juan, they created 339,000 jobs. You talk about unemployment, Juan, for the 16th consecutive month, unemployment has been under 4%.
Person. For how many months, consecutive months, Bob?
16 consecutive months.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody help me understand, why is his poll numbers down? Why are people talking about they don't want him to run for president? Why are they talking about he's too old? What's going on, Juan?
Inflation is down too, Bob.
But Joe don't have nothing to do about inflation. That's corporate America.
But they will. But they that is also used as.
Oh no, they try to pin it on him. But Juan, as a finance person,
right.
Joe just has nothing to do with inflation.
Right.
Okay,
right.
that's the Federal Reserve, and you know, Joe don't have nothing to do about monetary policy. But they try to pin that on him, and I'm glad you said that, Juan. But no. But inflation is even down though. Just to say what it is, it's down by down to 4%. Last year was about 9%. But really, it has nothing to do about it.
Exactly. Well, I think you can gauge one thing on if Biden is doing well, Bob, and this is my gauge. The Republicans are talking about Hunter Biden killings or they just make up something out of the book. They're not talking about the economy. You can always tell when they don't have anything to talk about. They're talking about woke. They don't, so you know that Biden is doing well, in my opinion, because that's what they always come back with is the woke or DRT.
They investigate people. They complain, but what policies are they making?
Right. They don't have any. I don't know that none of them are running on anything. That's why the economy, they don't talk about the jobs. It says it. But I do feel, Bob, that the news media is complicit with it because one thing that they do spend a lot of time on is Biden's age and any what they perceive as missteps, and of course focusing on his son, and that has become their mantra. But I think it's always interesting that they cite these poll numbers. But hey, if I was the administration, I wouldn't be as concerned about the administration and keep doing what you're doing.
So Juan, do you think he should be running as a president?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, hey, I've seen people run on much less. And I think his record speaks for itself, Bob. You always like to back up what I say with the facts and with the numbers. Numbers don't lie. How many finance person will always tell me, numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
you can say what you want, but these are the numbers.
People do.
Huh?
Right. Numbers don't lie. People do.
People do. And I think that's all they have. So I think, yes, Biden is should run. Do I agree with everything Biden's doing? No. I have a lot of problems with certain things in the administration. But Biden continues to be a steady hand with a lot going against him. And I believe he's our best. He is the best shot for the Democrats to retain power. And I do believe they can get the House back and maybe even grow the Senate in the next election. I'm going out and saying.
Well, I hope you're right, Juan, because that's how we can make change. Some of these people in there need to be out. They're old. They crazy. The other ones are just straight up crazy. Because I mean, it seems like they're not. What are they doing for people? It's always chasing people and investigation and trying to call people out. But anyway, that's that.
Yes.
Hopefully, Juan, the people will wake up and start voting these people out of office, and voting people in office that will make a change and that will do the right thing.
Well, that's why I like to do these segments. And Bob, you always say we should keep that in because we just tell them what the numbers show and what he's done. But you don't get that same sense and feeling. I think that news shows are out for headlines. So, and I think that overshadows some of the things and the good things that are happening in the country. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, let's shift gears one. That's the executive branch. Let's talk about the legislative branch. What's been going on in the House and in the Senate? What's happening there?
Well, you mentioned some of the things McCarthy and the people putting in place, and something we said before the show aired. McCarthy doesn't have control of his caucus, so he's trying to appeal to multiple people. He's trying to continue to appeal to Donald Trump, and he's also has his Freedom Caucus to the right. So all of these things are available, and I've been told about that they are threatening impeachment, and they want to take a vote, and they're fighting over that, taking that vote in the House, because I think McCarthy has realized that is a lost cause, but they want to definitely, at least symbolism wise, they're threatening to hold a vote to impeach Biden. I don't know on what, but these are the types of games they play. Sending migrants to places to northern cities and things. So all of these things, I think, are just a game that the Republicans like to play that gives them cover because they're not doing anything policy-wise. They haven't done anything to help people. Health care, jobs, that's happening. The economy rebounding, that's happening. I know everybody's not feeling that they've gotten everything that they want, but again, the numbers don't lie, Bob.
Yeah, but it's so Juan, what it seems like it's come down to that the people who want to be in power, they don't care about facts. What this show is all about.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about facts. They don't care about the numbers, Juan. You can recite the numbers all they want. All they care about is that their people stay in power and they change all the rules that are catered to them, plain and simple. They don't care about facts, Juan. It's very clearly what's going on, and it seems like it's just like going back to the Confederate versus the Union. It's almost just that being revisited. They want to stay in power. They don't want to pay no attention to rules and laws. But when it comes to them rules and laws, they don't want to pay attention to it. But then when they want to get other people, they want to make all these other laws, but not for them. So anyway, I'm really curious where they're going, and I hope the Congress change the next election. I have no hopes in that it does, but
we talked about that on past shows, Bob, how important it is that people recognize that. Because I hear people complain, I hear people get outraged, but if you don't vote or you don't take an initiative and vote locally, your complaints are just that. You're just complaining, and nobody wants to hear it complain, but you can make a difference. And I think that that is what we have to keep emphasizing, that your vote does make a difference, because a lot of these things we're going to talk about tonight is because people are in power, want to maintain power, take us backwards, and we have to be mindful of that. But
yeah,
so that is just sort of. But as you said, the world, man, between coups and what's happening around the world, and I throw this in what happened in France, the shooting. So a lot of these countries are having some similar problems to the United States. A police shot a young man.
democracy is under attack worldwide. That's what's going on, Juan. It's democracy. And like I said, in China, imperialism is going out. Even in the Arab countries, they still trying to keep, that type of authoritarianism
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
rule. And
Hmm.
in England and the United Kingdom, it's the same thing. They have a power struggle
Hmm.
with, once again, democracy. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
uh, so Donald, let's talk about Donald Trump, man, and his. Let's get on the judicial side. Donald Trump and his indictments, the 37 counts, Juan. I just want to say some of what they were: conspiracy, conspiracy, um, espionage, tampering with, uh, tampering, security threat, willful retention of national defense information, conspiracy to distract injustice, Lord, and false statements, conspiracy of secret documents. I mean, this dude, God, hey, man. I mean, and they talking about he can still run for president if he gets indicted and if he gets locked up.
Yeah. He just had a massive campaign place that down in South Carolina, my folks' hometown,
Yes,
home
where
state.
live in Charleston.
Yeah, it had a huge turnout.
Yeah, they don't.
So yeah, Biden is. I think. I mean, Trump. When he gets in trouble or perceived trouble, it helps his numbers.
Yeah, so because they don't care about facts, Juan. They don't care. They're just throwing it out. All they care is about, control and power. And it's very obvious because anything else is just look idiotic. They look like fools, to be honest.
I agree. I agree. But what does it say about us, Bob, that Trump is he's the leading person for the Republican nomination. I know you feel like he will never get back there, but do you feel he'll win the primary?
Who knows? That part is so fickle. I don't even know. But I know one thing. I can make this statement: he will not be winning no presidency. I'm telling
Okay.
you that now.
Okay.
I put money on that one. Now
I hope,
they
I,
so
I'm a whole,
fickle, Juan.
I
They
hope
so
you're right.
fickle. They so fickle. I can see him winning the primary, and they got so many people running again.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They got Chris Christie. They got
Asa Hutchinson.
Tim Scott. Please.
That's why. Hey, that's why he went down to South Carolina. They said it was kind of a smack in the face. And Lindsey Graham introduced him. They booed Lindsey Graham, but Tim Scott and Nikki Haley, man, they booed them. Man, Trump just blew him out in their state. That's why he went there. He just shows them that, hey, you all don't stand a chance. But let me ask you, Bob, the judge put a date, I think, of August for trial date or something. Do you think that they're going to actually have a start trial before the election?
No, because they're going to file all of these documents about, appeal. What he normally does, he delays.
Right.
And they got some tools that they can delay it. So I don't think it's going to happen in August. Mm. But I don't know. It might happen before 2024, though.
Hey, but I couldn't have said to this point that over the last several months, and we've mentioned them on our shows, that he would have lost a civil case. And also, because of his statements, she can ask for more. That same person, it's been approved that she can push for more civil liability for defamation against her. And so, and he would have been, and that would have been by the DA, and that he would be indicted by this guy, Smith. So I'm surprised about that. Teflon Don showing a little chinks in his armor, but I don't know. Time is what he does well. And time, he knows his safest place is back in the presidency.
And he's not going to get back there because that's what he's trying to do. And he has all these other indictments coming up in Georgia and the January 6th too. So he's got a whole Soul Train line of indictments coming up. So on, let's talk about the Supreme Court decisions. They've been cool. My God, the Supreme Court is starting to set policy. When did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
determine policy. When did that happen?
Critical decisions too, Bob. Life-changing decisions by the Supreme Court, and I think that goes in hand with what you had mentioned, Bob. I just want to say that, and we'll talk about some of these decisions, Bob, but it is amazing to me that the Supreme Court, which are now making these rulings under a cloud, and I mean a dark cloud of scandal, i.e., what you talked about, Alito, Clarence Thomas, Justice Roberts, and there's more that, and there's more that's come out against Alito and his wife, and some land deals and decisions. All under this cloud, they are making life-changing decisions on people, man. And I just think it's amazing because they serve at the behest of the people. They're unelected. So they have to have the trust of the people. But they made what I thank goodness 2 good decisions, Bob, on the voting rights and state legislatures being able to overrule federal election but that may have been just to set up. I think the scandals helped with those, but then they came hard at the end in the ruling and upending years and years of precedent, Bob. Years and years of precedent, like they did with Roe v. Wade. But affirmative action, they ruled against
student loan debt,
Biden, and the student loan debt situation.
The website guide is saying you can don't have to do business with LGBTQ people.
Right. And these have such significant things down the line because you can see the through line, man, that they're going to affect other things beyond this. And what else is just mind-boggling, Bob? In the web design person, the guy who was used as the person that wanted this supposed business from her is one. He says he's not gay, and he's never heard of it and never did it. So you would think, how did they even get that case? He never did it, and he's never had, and the woman has never had business. She's never done a web design for anybody. This is all hypothetical. That's
the same thing with the student loan. They have,
and the same thing with the guy, the
affirmative action.
The affirmative action. The guy is an older gentleman, right winger, that has been after that for years. And so it makes it again the Supreme Court is very unethical, and there's scandal ridden, man. I think that
so
like Biden has to do something.
House is trying to come up with regulations to regulate the ethics of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is saying constitutionally they can't do it because the legislator cannot make rules for the judiciary, and they say no, that is not true.
Yeah, they kind of shape the law to their behest, but just like you said, Bob, they had ruled before that a President Roberts, actually, the president could make decisions about. I don't want to just state something and not state it eloquently, if you will, but it's almost as they have, jujitsu'd on their own laws that Roberts and those have said before. What they said Biden couldn't do, Roberts has said in previous decisions that presidents could do with certain actions. but I'm not versed enough on them. So it really is. We're really at a crossroads with the Supreme Court. They have the lowest ratings ever. You had mentioned that the other day, and they really are in danger of just making a as you said, Bob, it's a kangaroo court. And Clarence Thomas and Alito, and they're under, and they do the bidding of the billionaire.
But let me tell you, let's share some good news. You mentioned it in brief, but they did a major Supreme Court decision that they call it the legislative theory, which was allowing certain states to overrule the state legislature, the state appointed election board
Law.
and
Right.
federal.
Right.
And
Law.
they shut it down and said, no, you cannot do that. So
yes, thank goodness.
Then also in Alabama, they ruled down, they made them redistrict because of gerrymandering. They shut down a bill and made them redistrict. And then in North Carolina, they were overruled with the federal elections too. So there was some good, bright things, because we always give gloom and doom when we get.
No, those were huge. Those were huge.
But
Bob,
those
right.
were, I mean, because but the issue with the website guy who won, that's going to be major because people are going to start filing suits against people because they don't want to do business with them, and it's going to be a lot of filing.
What takes it back to another time, right?
And then Stephen Miller, right wing, racist, white supremacy type guy.
Yeah.
He
not tight guy.
He sent out a message. He sent notices to over 200 colleges saying if he cites any remnants of affirmative action, he will sue them. He wrote 200 colleges and said they will.
Really, Bob?
Yes, Stephen Miller. Yeah,
Stephen Miller. Oh yes, I was surprised he was still working.
We live in some interesting times, one, because it seems like they're trying to turn back the clock, and most people, when you look at look at the surveys, most people are trying to be progressive. Most people, it's just that 30%, and a lot of it's coming out of the South.
Stephen Miller, yeah. They're trying to hold on to.
Yeah,
they're trying to hold on and take us back to a time, Bob.
Yeah, but it ain't going to happen. The genie's out the bottle. And we talked a little bit about Hunter Biden, but they've been trying to come after Joe Biden to get some stick on him for the longest.
That landed like a dud to them, man. That really took some wind out of his sails.
Yeah, really, and good for them.
He paid his taxes, yeah.
And he pleaded guilty, and they gave him a misdemeanor about the gun charge. I think they dropped it, actually.
Right. And Bob, I just caught that, and I thought they did this quietly. Fox settled with the former talent person for Tucker Carlson, and she was huge in them settling with the Dominion lawsuit because it countered everything that they said. So they paid her $12 million, or they settled with her for $12 million. The woman who had a case against them. So they quietly, that kind of just, they did. I hadn't heard anybody mention it in the news. I just happened to go by, see it on in a news link that they settled with her, and I thought that was interestingly kept quiet by that. So Fox continued. It's nice to have endless money to pay out to people, man. So you keep on doing what you do, but they're paying out money.
The only way to really hurt these people is to hurt them in the pocket.
Well, they're going to get hit in the pocket some more, but they do have very, very deep pockets.
Yeah, but everything has an expiration date. Just remember that.
Ooh, I like that. And that's the truth. And that's a fact.
All of us do, and Trump does too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think. Do you think he's going to get locked up?
No.
I think he is, but he's not going to go to jail. They're going to make him under house arrest for some years, and he's going to have to walk around with an electronic thing on his ankle. I think they're going to put him under house arrest. They won't put him in no jail, but I think they're going to let him walk around Mar-a-Lago. But because I'm telling you, he's got too many indictments coming down the line, man.
Whew. Like I said, his safest spot is the presidency. So hook or crook.
Well, that ain't safe because he ain't getting in the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no way he's getting in the presidency. No, ain't no way. And he's just grifting people, trying to get as much money as he can. You know.
Hey, grifting is way of life for them. Grifting is a way of life for him, Bob.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bob, yes.
So, well, let's talk about some of the. That was the legislative, executive, and the judicial issues. Let's talk about other, just current events in general, man. How did you feel about? Do you have any comments about the voyage to the bottom of the sea?
Sound like a TV show.
Exactly.
First, let me say, folks, I am laughing, but Bob often, I'll put it on Bob. Bob often has a way of putting things that bring a smile to my face. But I particularly wanted to chat with Bob and all of you all about the submersible. And yeah, I do, Bob. I thought it was, why did it captivate us other than it was on the news 24 hours a day, every day, radio, television? Yes, it captivated America, especially, and the world, I'm sure, but it captivated us. And as Bob said at the beginning of the show, I think 5 people and 6 total, maybe with the driver of the vessel, but and they all had to pay $250,000 a week. I think there were at least 2 billionaires on there, and somebody who can pay $250,000 just to go down in the water has a lot of money. And I just, but
no kidding, Captain Obvious.
There was a
there
was a lot of, I mean, it was a tragedy. It was a tragedy, but these people chose to go down there. They're all very smart people, but this place, even from the people who blew the whistle on the company and worked for that company, said that it wasn't safe. He built the vessel out of like parts. It exploded an hour after they left, Bob. I mean, it is really
and
just.
Some of the people on there were ancestors of people that were on
the guy who yeah, right. They were on the Titanic, but
right.
That's another thing. Our fascination with the Titanic, and people wanted to go down to the Titanic.
And that's why I want to hold you up for a minute, there, Juan, on this particular topic.
Okay.
I don't give a damn about the damn topic, okay? There's some submersible rich mugs going. I don't care if they go under the sea, over the moon. I don't really, like you said, why is that even news?
Right.
Why is that even news when there's people out here starving and they paying and that's what they got to talk about?
Right.
And I mean, I wish those people would have lived. Don't get me wrong. We should get anything bad on people.
Excellent point, Bob. Excellent point.
Come on, man. Why? The question should be, Juan, why is that important? You know what I'm saying? Why is that news?
Well, during the same time, Bob, that to your point exactly, they showed migrants have been trying to cross, especially not the Caribbean, but the sea. Going over to Europe from different parts of Middle East, Africa, leaving war-torn countries, and they have perished off the coast of Greece, where they didn't even send out the boats. They knew they were out there in the seas, and I think like 800 people of the vessel turned over.
Right.
Not a word. Nobody was worried, man. They were thinking about these people who chose and paid to go down into a ship. I have a video that showed a guy who created that vessel used a stick. The steering wheel was something that they used. You know how they had the video game
from a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Juan,
okay,
this is how it works. Normally, and the media is so complicit in so many things, and they get so many passes. You know,
right.
That's one thing that Donald Trump. You know, he was right about a lot of stuff. You know, the fake news. You know, how the news. They get away with a lot of things, Juan.
Yeah.
And usually when they're making news about things like that, they're like glazing over other stuff that is really happening. It's like a distraction, you know. That's why I'm not getting caught up about some daggone Ocean Gate, you know. But
the fascination with the Titanic is really something, though, Bob.
It was so fascinating. A bunch of white people going on a ship that was declared. I mean, why? I mean, I'm not trying to make a racist statement. Get this straight. But last time I checked, there was no black people on the Titanic. You know why?
Why?
Because the last time they got on the ship, they realized what happened. That's why there were no black people on the Titanic. They don't have. We don't have a good history with coming over on ships. Okay.
In the class, it was definitely in the class. You know, these were the richest of the rich to go on that thing, and the people that weren't rich were down there at the bottom of the shit, man. It is the fascination. But that smart people would choose to go down in a little tube. Is it just beyond me, man?
Well,
they don't know that may not work.
No, you don't understand that world, Juan. Let me give you an example. When the name of the company, insurance company, I forgot what it started with, came in, the federal government came in on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they went down. What were they called out there in California? I can't think about it. But anyway.
Right. It'll come to me too. Right.
So they came down on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Came in and smacked them on the hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Enron. I'm talking about Enron.
Oh, Enron. Yeah. Enron. Your energy company, weren't you, Bob?
Right, Enron, that. And but the other company, it's American something. It's other company. I'm sorry, but anyway, they came in on this company. They saved them, right?
Right.
Bailed them out. It almost came to me. Bailed them out, and then they were getting ready to go bankrupt. Federal government bailed them out, saved them, and then they went and paid money on a $50 million corporate jet. And the reason why I'm telling you the story, Juan, is because they were like, well, wait a minute. They were just bankrupt. Why would they go there and spend the money on a $50 million corporate jet when they just went bankrupt and got saved from going out? And they said, because that's what they do.
That's what they do.
They didn't think it was nothing wrong with it.
Right.
And that's why those people went down in that ship.
Yes.
Because they have so much money.
It's a certain arrogance.
And it's like they bored. They done did everything else. And I get it. It's just like when we're going to talk about John Morant. They were getting on him for buying 2 Rolls Royce, a Ferrari, and $80,000 grills. I said, but he's got $250 million. What else is he going to do with the money?
Yes, certain arrogance, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just arrogance, Juan. It's just that if you got $1 billion, that's not arrogance. It's just you got so much money, you done did so many things. You like, I'm trying to find something else for excitement. I don't think it's arrogance. I mean, I think it's arrogance how they report on it.
Well, you do feel a certain invincibility when you do things like that.
When you have money,
When you have lots of it too, and
when
not just money,
you have
but you
money.
have lots of it.
You know,
But
Warren, that's what they do. I mean, they got so much money, they don't know what to do with it. And they do things like that.
well, I made a comparison, Bob, too, like JFK. You know, remember, not JFK, but John Kennedy, when he flew his plane, he took his wife and daughter, and they ended up crashing because they were just going from New York right over to Hyannis Point to
But
fly.
Warren, that was suspicious, my brother.
Well, anyway, but
that was suspicious.
He flew a plane.
He was making big gains to be running for office, and all of a sudden he runs into the side of a mountain where they said the weather wasn't good.
Well, no, they ran into the ocean. You know,
the ocean.
He didn't know how to read the instruments.
I'm sorry, you know what I'm thinking about?
He didn't read the
Kobe. I'm talking about Ron Brown, whose plane ran.
Ron Brown, that was it.
And he was getting ready to hit that. He might have been the first black president.
Ron Brown, Ron Brown.
Crashed.
That's another whole story.
Same thing.
Kobe Bryant, you know, flying a helicopter over to the gym. You know, it's sort of a rich person's thing. You can do it. You know, you can pay 30, 40,000, whatever, to take everybody over to the thing. And they ran into the side of a mountain. But anyway, but the submersible was just an interesting story to me on so many levels.
Not to me, it doesn't
all those
at all.
It
doesn't even move the dial for me.
Right.
A bunch of rich people with toys.
Right.
That's all it was for me. A bunch of rich people with toys.
Yeah, toys. Right.
Doesn't move the needle for anything in my household. So Warren, let's switch that subject because we're running down the clock.
Yeah.
Ja Morant, the future of
our sports update. You know, we have to hit the sports.
Who got a $250 million extension, and he keeps getting called out on different public offenses. None of them are like illegal, I don't think, but as far as brandizing firearms and guns, that's just not what the NBA is about. But his behavior for a young guy to make $250 million, once again, we're talking about rich one, and this is what happened. And this guy wants to still hang with the same guys in the neighborhood. And it's just sad, man, because he got suspended for 25 games. And there's another video just came out. He might be suspended for the whole year. So these young players.
Another video has come out, Bob? Since?
Yeah, they were talking about,
That's the second one?
Yeah, and then about him beating up this boy.
Oh, really? I hadn't even
he
heard that one yet.
This kid
must be drowned out about
the kid's mother is suing him. And they were like, oh, it's quite interesting that she's suing on the son's behalf because he's a minor. But there's something that happened that he fought this boy, and they saying, you know, she's really just trying to get.
Oh, I hadn't even seen that yet.
Yeah, but but he keeps having these infractions, Juan. And how do you think he's going to pan out for Ja Morant, the superstar? NBA, so many NBA players went and talked to him, elder guys, young guys, Steph Curry, Allen Iverson. I mean, some big people that have talked to him. And
is that right?
Yeah. Where do you see his?
Well, Bob, thank you though for updating me on these things, because I think I said it to you about before, Bob. I do have a little different take, and I do think that they're pretty serious, and I'll tell you why. Yes, Ja Morant is a superstar. He's exciting, a little bit like Iverson in the sense that kind of, you know, he has the hair and the whole kind
the swag
of the movement of the time, and he's truly gifted. I love that his father and him close, that he's there.
That's his problem. That man crazy.
Well, but I've surprised that Adam Silver, who is the commissioner of the league of the NBA, I thought they really took it easy on him. I really thought after getting in trouble for the same thing so soon after the first one, I thought they were going to come down harder on him. Not that I want it. Let me just say that, because Bob's told you all, we're both athletes, former athletes, and we played ball. He's living not only his own dream, that was our dream. He's living it. He's doing it. And I know that I did things that I shouldn't have. I'm blessed that I'm here today. And Bob and I often joke about that. But I think somebody needs to put a hand on. And guns, of all things, especially in our community, Bob, in our time right now, that is one of the worst examples. And know it. In our own area of Washington, that's why Abe Pollin changed the name of the team. That's huge. Where they had to actually get rid of the owner to change the name of Washington football team. He chose to change the name from the Bullets because of guns. Gilbert Arenas ruined his career,
right,
fooling around with guns, or with another boy that couldn't let the gang stuff go.
He's
He
in
was a great
jail.
basketball player. Yeah, that boy. Oh yeah, because
That
for murder.
boy's
For murder.
He's-
Can't remember his name. From Georgia Tech, went right back down to home. They say he joined the gang as soon as he was drafted by the Lakers. As soon as he got out there, he joined one of the gangs. But and I know these things have a hold on. But of all things, Ja Morant, of all things, not guns, man. We have a huge problem.
So how you think he's going to come out of this one?
Well, right now it looks like he's going to be okay. You know, I mean, I don't see any other thing.
He gives it great.
The NBA took it easy on him, Bob. In my opinion,
Right.
the NBA took it easy on him.
25 games is a lot.
Huh?
25 games is a lot of money.
Get not paid games, but like you said, man, he has a lot of guaranteed money all the way, and he had just been suspended 8 games. But he's fortunate. The team could have said, "Hey, adios, man." Silver could have said the whole year, the season. Right. That is very detrimental. And you are an example for so many young people. And we have teenagers in our city, and I hate to say this, in Washington right now, one school has already asked that the parents keep the teenagers out at night, man. They're so dangerous. 4 from one school, the oldest being 15. 4 from one school out of the last 6 people. Teenagers being shot. We've had a teenager shot damn near every day for every week. The last
well, the whole thing about the gun thing, Juan. Why have people never mentioned the gun manufacturers? Why they name never come up? Smith and Wesson, you know.
Right.
Ruger. Why they never mentioned? Why they
NRA is still powerful, even though Letitia. The Attorney General of New York really set them back, but they're powerful. The lobby is powerful. Guns are prevalent, and the manufacturers, man, they're the money holders, and they're flooded. I mean, guns, man.
Well, one historical fact: history shows that civilizations were ruined, were conquered because of gunpowder. And I don't know if you notice, of all other places around the world, Africa,
Asia,
Japan,
all the continents.
No, don't say Asia, because it stops at China. Ain't nobody mess with China. You know why?
Aren't they the inventor of gunpowder?
They are the inventors of gunpowder, and they know. Come on up in here. I got something for you. All other countries want around the world. Yeah. Guadalupe, Central America, China, no.
We have such a violent country. Oh my God! But anyway, but yes.
So let's bring this home on. We had.
I do hope that Ja Morant can get it together. And boy, free agent money has been flowing.
Shoot, the other day was up to what, $2 billion?
Something like that.
That they paid out. I mean, guys like Harvey Grant's son getting 100-something million.
Yeah.
Draymond Green, who's not one of my favorite players, getting 100 million in 4 years. Come on, man.
Yeah, but he got 4 championships, man. You got to pay it, boy.
No,
Look.
He's a pariah, man. He's trying that bully stuff, man. That's so old. Sit your butt down. So we ain't worth no
but
100
they won a championship last
He
year.
ain't worth. That's past. He ain't worth no 100 million, man. Stop it. That was back then.
Yeah, man. A lot of boys. I told you, Kuzma just got 102 million. I didn't know
He
they were
should
going to
have.
build
He's
around
still
him.
underpaid. He's still a cheap daggone Wizards, man. He's gonna get that boy. Look, you know what he was making? 13 million. Come on, man. They some cheap bags. That look, the Wizards. I looked at their draft, man.
I didn't know they would build around him though, but
man, that's what they have. I mean, Jesus. Look,
they didn't have to get rid of everybody.
They got a whole team of forwards, power forwards. The whole team is a team of power forwards.
Well, Poole is there now, and the boy from Memphis Grizzlies there.
He's got issues. That's why they got him out of Golden State. That people don't know. They showed the script that he was saying. He was called Draymond Green. He said, "What did he say? You're old, and look at your podcast." I mean, he was coming hitting them hard, man. But there's no reason for him. And look, come on, Juan. Draymond Green, your captain, and he steals the boy, the young boy.
Yeah. Oh no. Hey, look, I'm not saying whether I like Draymond or I don't like Draymond. I'm just saying that they've been successful with Green. What happened with him and Poole? What happened with him and Poole? Now Draymond got along with his other. What happened with him and Poole, man? Everybody else was able to. Even Durant came in and got along. Everybody got along, but Poole, man, I thought he was the future of Golden State, man.
Senior. He's supposed to be a captain.
Right. You're right. You're exactly right.
This your captain. This is how he's going to go on.
Right.
Because Bug called him a chump, old has been, and stuff like that. I'm like, you did that.
Poole tripping though, man. You come in there and get in. You get in line.
If you're a senior in the NBA, there's a bunch of tripping mugs.
And that's Curry's boy, man. That's Curry's boy, man. That's Curry's boy.
That's good, but I'm not a Draymond.
Him and Clay's boy. I'm talking about Draymond.
I know.
Yeah,
but he's
like
not worth 100 million. I don't care how you put it on. He's not worth 100 million.
Hey, but you can say that about a whole lot of boys.
No, I'm talking about Draymond Green. Okay. Who's about 6'6", trying to act like he's a center or something.
But that's the league, man. That's the league. They small, man. Golden State small. They still need some size out there.
Yeah, they do. That's why they ain't gonna win them until they do. So that's it, Juan.
That's how we carry, folks. Bob and I debate.
We're here next month.
Free agent fever. I wish I was getting signed.
Next month is going to be what's the next one? Let me look at
August. What, Bob?
It's going to be August the 6th, I think. Is the first Friday in August. It's August the 6th. We'll be back 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. On Point Opinions. It may be our opinions, but it's about the facts.
August 6th, you were right on it, Bob. All right.
I Juan Bino.
Yeah. You know we can go at it, baby boy. All right.
So, good show, and we'll see you. And once again, Juan, we're going to have so many things happening between next month. But we're going to be on it because you know why? We're
on point. And Bob, you get ready to get out of here tomorrow, aren't you? Or someday, aren't you?
No, I ain't going nowhere. I'm be right here. Have a good night.
All right, OB.